Thank you. It's lovely to be with you all. The wonderful thing about being part of God's family is that we've got family everywhere, haven't we? And I've not met any of you, I don't think, in real life before, but it's just still wonderful to be family together, even on Zoom. And we're very thankful for this technology to allow us to do this. I don't know what we're going to do when we have to start putting clothes on to go out again to meetings, but it's just wonderful being in our slippers, isn't it? And and just relaxing at home while we're in these meetings. So it's great to be with you. So I'm going to speak from God's word a bit later, but Lou asked if I would just introduce myself. So I'm Carolyn, and I'm in Ivybridge in Devon. My husband's a minister here, and we're moving next year, actually. Well, this year now, up to Shropshire. He's got a new appointment in Market Drayton. But we've been in Devon for about 8 years. And we've got 2 grown-up daughters who are married and got children. One's in Manchester, so we haven't seen her very much at all this year, which is one of the reasons for moving up country. And the other one's in Bath, which is not very far from you. She works in Chippenham at the SAT7 offices in Chippenham, so that's not very far from you where you are there in Highworth. This role is a very strange role, this vice president's role. For those of you who don't know, every year the Methodist Church elects a president who's an ordained minister, presbyter, and a vice president who's either a lay person or a deacon. And I'm a lay person, so I put my name forward the year before I got elected, and I wasn't elected, and I wasn't going to go for it again. But when I went to conference in 2019, I said to the Lord, I'm not going to say anything or put my name forward, but if you want me to do this, then somebody will have to ask me to do it. And then when I got to conference, about 10 different people at different places asked me if I was going to put my name forward. So I felt like God was saying, what more do you need? Do you need a written notice in the sky to tell you? So I put my name forward, and the rest is history. But it's not quite the year I expected it to be. So it began with my induction in conference in June last year, which was a virtual conference. A few of us were at Cliff College, in a kind of a studio broadcasting from there, and everyone else was on Zoom. And I had to give my vice president's speech instead of to a room of 1,000 people. I stood on my own in a room with a cameraman, and Mark, my husband, was there as well. And I told him he had to laugh at the right places to make me feel like I'd got a crowd. So it was all a bit strange. And I don't know if any of you have seen the prayer card that comes out every year for the president and the vice president. This is ours for this year. But if you've got them, you may as well tear them up, because most of the things so far haven't happened, or they've happened on Zoom. And the way it's going at the moment, it looks like most things that we've got planned for the year will be happening on Zoom. So a lot of the things I thought I was going to do and the travelling haven't happened. But it's been amazing how God has worked despite that, because there's been so many other opportunities, like tonight, speaking to you and being with you, that I just wouldn't have been able to do if it hadn't been for Zoom and being locked down, because I'd have been travelling to the districts, but I wouldn't have got to meet just ordinary people, as it were, in the churches around the country. And I've been really privileged to go to Bible study groups and preach at services around the country, and get to know people in the churches, and that's been wonderful. So I feel really privileged to be with you here tonight. Hopefully one day I will meet you in real life, but you never know with this thing, do you? So I just thank you for inviting me, for Lou for inviting me, and I look forward to sharing the evening with you. So that's enough for now. If you've got any questions, you can always ask me later. So I'm going to hand back to Lou, I think, who's introducing the next part. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Carolyn. Yeah, it's good to hear that.